Hello, if you've been watching the other video you'll have seen me installing this tow bar and this retractable 7-pin connector, and inside the car we have the cable for the connector coming through here, and I need to do the connections and the wiring loom, so I'm going to do that now. Right. The PF Jones pre-wired socket comes with a list of what goes where on the 7 pin, so I know, for example, that the yellow is the left-hand indicator, so that yellow wire in this cable needs to go to the output of the unit. Okay, I've had a quick read through it, and what I found is that the terminals on the end of this ZR2500 PCT automotive unit connect to this cable from my 7-pin unit as per the colour codes that are on my sheet from PF Jones, which is exactly the same as the colour codes on the sheet that came with the control module. So first of all, let's strip this back. So I've just scored the edge of the insulation without going through any of the internal cores. I gently did it. Quite a lot of experience doing that, and now I've stripped that. What we'll now do is strip these back so that I can prepare them to go into the terminals on that connector. Okay, 3 of them. 3. I suppose if I'm being terribly posh, I might put these in crimps, or I could just screw them into the terminals. The answer is I do have crimps, but they're too big and they wouldn't actually make the job any better. So what I'm going to do is just cut these off and terminate them into the unit. Pin 1, yellow, left-hand indicator. Goes at the bottom, LHI, yellow. There it is. Next one up, right-hand indicator, green. Next one up, black. It's the left-hand side. Oh, a little bit longer. Next one, right-hand side. It's brown. Okay. Then we have the brake. It's red. Then we have blue. It's the fog light. Not sure I've got one of those on the bike rack that I use. And then the top one is reverse, which is claimed to be yellow again, but the white is the chassis earth. So this actually needs to go to earth. So I'm going to have to find a way of terminating that to earth. Right. Okay, so I've just investigated how I'm going to connect the wiring loom for this unit, so that because the other side of it, this connection here, needs to go to all the different points in the car that tell it what to do. It also has a 12 volt and 0 volt supply, which can come from the battery supply via a fuse that they've provided, and the 0 volt needs to be grounded somewhere on the chassis along with this white cable, so those two could be potentially connected together and grounded as one. What I have read on here is rather curiously, it says note when installing the ZR2300 in vehicles with a single wire supplying the side light, pulse width modulation, and brake light, direct current, only the red brake control input wire needs to be connected to the offside for the ZR2300 side and brake outputs to work correctly. The black and brown side light control wires should be insulated and folded back. And this car is like that. It has the same single filament lamp for tail light and brake lamp. So I'm going to have to fold back the brown and black, not connect them, which is good because it means I don't need to come over. Well, it's 2 things less to connect, but there we go. And the yeah, obviously the red one needs to go to the off side. So right, let's crack on. Right. I'm going to see if I can trace the fog lamp cable from here down into the right corner. Hopefully it's one of the cables that appears from this wiring loom here. I need to know the colour of it, so I'm going to turn the lights on, see which colour it is that has power on it, and see if we can work it out. Okay, so that is the fog light. Now if I get my meter out, there we go. That's probably 0. 262. So the black with a white stripe has gone live. And obviously if I turn that off, it'll go dead again. So just double check that. Yeah, 11.26. And we'll have right. It has. So I need to find that same cable. I can find that same cable in here. And here. You can see there are 2 cables coming down. Have that colour. They may actually be one for left, one for right. What we can do is just see if we can get a little connection on there and power it up again and see what happens. So on this wiring loom there are 2 cables that are black with a white stripe that look very similar. It might be that they're for the 2 different lights. There are 2 fog lights on the boot, and it could be for one for each. One of them might be for something else. I'm going to have to connect to one of them to find out. So what I'm going to do is just see if I can strip a little insulation on one of them. That's stripped now. I can power that back up again and see what's on it. So at the moment, if I look to DC bolts, connect to that, there's nothing on it. Let's go power it up. Powered up again. I'm going in for that there, onto here. 11.5 volts, excellent. So that's definitely my fog lamp. So that's good news. I can definitely want to bring my cable through here then. So I'm going to do that. There's a sleeve here, so I'm just pushing it through here and it comes up over here. So now I've got it through. That's ready to connect into my unit there. It said that the black and brown are to be insulated and folded back. Now I'm left with 5 connections. Fog light was blue. Let's get that connected onto that one that I've found. What I'm going to try and do is crimp this into the through connector. I don't like the connectors that they provide with these fittings. Easy. Right, I'm hoping we can get this in here. Looks good. Put the crimps on there. Okay, so now I've got a connection that's really good at wiring loom. Strip back the blue. My end, that can go into the crimp, like so. Onto the crimp we go. So that's now a really good connection on there. So this one here needs to go to the brake. And in this case, the brake is the lower. I think BMW are determined to have you brake the cluster when you access it. But the top lamp is the indicator, the lower lamp is the brake. And when I take it out, you can have a look at the circuit wire on this lower lamp. Obviously the right hand section is the ground for them both. This connection here, which goes to the furthest left one, is a yellow wire, so that is the brake. The top lamp goes to this third connection, which is the blue with a brown stripe. That's obviously the indicator. So blue with a brown stripe is indicator, yellow is going to be our stop. If we look at this side, you actually have blue with a green stripe to that one for the top, and then yellow again is for the stop lamp, which is at the base. So indicator at the top, stop at the base. Easy peasy, looking for yellow wires. And in this case, the cable's going to go up here. It's actually inside this wrapping here. Let's see if I can stick a knife into between. Get that protective wrap to come off. Same principle again. I want this yellow exposed. I'm going to try and do this without damaging the inner core, and because I'm bloody amazing, I can. Okay, so the yellow wire is our stop and side. It needs to be onto the red wire from the loom, which is what we're going to do. Just crimp that one on there. Oop, my crimps will work. Like so. That's good. The other wire that was on this loom was the turn. That was the blue and brown there, so we can strip that back and put that on the right side indicator, which is actually a green wire. So same thing again, let's see if I can strip back the insulation and get to it. Get a crimp on it. Let me know it's a really good connection. There we go. So I'm not breaking the cable, just folding it over. Blue crimp on there. Blue's the right size for these. As I said, let's go on there. That, nice and tight, there we go. So that's the right turn indicator, and the cable colour for that is green. Is that green? Into the crimp. There we go. Yellow is the left-hand indicator, so I need to find the cable that goes across for that. And the white is the reversing light, which I don't need because there's no reversing light on a 7-pin. The white I can tape back, and the yellow I need to connect to the left-hand indicator. So let's take no, I wanted the white tape back. I need the yellow. Silly boy. It's nice to know we all make mistakes. Right, so I've just run this piece of flex across from the other side of the car where I'm going to connect it to the indicator. I'm going to connect this blue, it's a twin core flex, but I'm only using the blue. Just kind of crimp it, if I can strip the blessed thing. Crimp it into a through crimp with the yellow wire, which I cut off accidentally. There we go, it's in a crimp. I'm going to use a red one because I'm not turning anything over, it'll fit in there okay. So use the smallest crimp we can get away with, it fits well. Okay, it's on there, strip the yellow. Turn that over, pop it in here. Yeah, get that in there, that's good. Nice and tight. I don't want yellow, I want red. I used red on the other side. Okay. Good. So that's now connected. There, that's all the connections on this cable. What I really need to do is just tie this so that it's neat. I'm going to get a zip tie and do that. I don't want to take the weight off this really. I think, let's see if we can get a zip tie around it. you go. I'll take the weight. Tighten those in as well. That's here. And this one, it was the blue wire again. And just snip the binding tape. Just pull that in to give us some slack. Before stripping off, but not down here. Here's the cable from the other side. Nice thick cable, don't want any voltage drop on this one. Just don't want the cable to be hanging on the connector. Ready to connect my lights. That's good. That's done. There are two neutral connections that I need. One is this white connection to the box here, which can go to this. It says use the chassis as an earth, but actually, because the battery is here in the boot in the BMW, which is unusual, I'm going to go straight onto it. I do have a piece of blue cable which I'm going to use. It needs to be fairly thick for this return from the trailer hitch, because there could be quite a lot of sort of flow of power through various bulbs at the same time. So we're going to strip this one back and put it into a crimp there. Black wire that was supplied with the unit, it does identify the 12 volt and the 0 volt, so I'm going to connect this to the 0 volt terminal.
These can come together. Become one.
This is obviously really close, so the distance is really only for maintenance. Once that's in there, this then connects to here, so it's just a loop without any tightness on it. those will then connect onto here using a, I think they've given us some connectors in here. So they've given us the fuse holder, and they've given us a fuse, 15 amp fuse, and some spade connectors that connect onto the fuse holder, and yeah, and there's a ring, which is great. That would suit there, but also thinking it would suit here. You know, we do need to connect it to the power. So obviously I need another ring. They've only given me one ring. Let's see if I can find a ring in my crimps. Okay, so there's a ring, which is 6mm, so that's good. So that can go on my neutral. The yellow one is quite big. I've got any smaller ones, so we'll do it with the yellow one. So that's that. That obviously goes onto here. And we have a 12 volt supply needed. It goes onto here. And that's the red cable, which is here. It's a very fat cable, a very small terminal. Not a very deep terminal either. It's important to try and avoid having any bare cable showing. It reduces the risk of anything shorting out. So this looks like that. This can then come up here, earth connection, and this can then loom round to go onto here. So I can cut this off here. Get the fuse down with it. There we go. Let's do it here.
So we want a spade connector.
Another spade connector. This one. These will go into the fuse holder like that, like I do on the fuse holder, like so. We then have the crimp end. So that's going snug in there. Oh, it actually sits down in there, that's rather nice. Some slack cable can go in there. On top. It's really good. Fuse holder I can tie onto main cable. Let's get a maybe onto this bar, or no, it's a strap for the battery, probably best one. Put it onto the main cable, it's not going to do any harm. There you go. There's another one on it. That's for good measure. There you go. There. This thing needs to go onto the main terminal. Unless there's another one to go into. That's an enormous one. Really want to mess around with these. I could probably go onto this. Just need to loosen it off and tuck it under there. Won't do any harm being on the main terminal. We put this one onto that terminal. Right, it's 10mm. Good. It stays there if we ever take it off. And then we need to do the same over here. So we end up with a connection on here for the neutral, and we end up with another one here for the 12 volt. A fuse holder here will carry our fuse. Cool, let's close that down. Theoretically, that is it. I should be able to put in my fuse holder and it should work, but I'm going to check the car first. Right, so I've checked the car works, all the lights work as they should, and there's no issues with the connections. I'll try it again now with this connected. See what happens. And bear in mind, I still haven't put the fuse in. Okay, that test was successful. So now I'm going to put this fuse in. Moment of truth. Peep, peep. It's not a very good fuse holder, but there we go. I made a peep, peep, peep noise. Very exciting. Pop that down in there. Out of the way. I'm going to do my functional tests once again. Now my functional tests are complete. So what I'm going to do is go and get my bike rack and attach it to the car and run through that series of tests once more. Okay, so here's the final test. And the great news is I have no faults on my dashboard, and that all appears to be working great. So there we go. That's the full installation. It's neat in the engine, but in the battery bay there, I might be doing a little bit more tidying up, but essentially we've got everything where we need it. It's crimped, it's good connections, it's all nice and solid, it's tested fine. So yeah, hope that was helpful. Thank you for watching. Give it a like, subscribe if you like it.